Hey guys, a few more minutes here. Look what I got. You think this is big enough to tighten up some bolts to find out the torque on the tools I'm dealing with? 3.5 feet long. It's big enough to carry around for self-defense. Okay, let's start this. It's going to take a while to crank on this. We're going to find out the torque of the new Cobalt compact impact wrench that I've been testing here for a week. Okay. Let's put some sizable pounds on here. Okay. 188 foot-pounds. Okay. Now, let's see if this Cobalt can do it. I know it will. I've already done a bunch of testing with it. 8 amp ultimate output. Of course it did it. We're going to try to push it to about close to 300. Okay, let's save my back a little bit here. Let's tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Ugh. This is one big breaker bar. $191. Let's go a little bit further. That is 262 foot-pounds. Okay. This is the way to do it. You got to have this with this 8 amp hour. I don't know. I'll do some more testing another day with the 4 amp hour, but this is the battery that Cobalt recommends. Wow. And this is a 3/4 inch. I've been doing it with bigger ones too, 1.125. I'm not going to spend all day doing that, but I can do some more lives doing bigger, much bigger bolts. And then I'm eventually going to get around to doing my trailer, trailer ball hitch, 1.5 inch. We all know by then I won't be able to push it to 250. And the bigger it gets, like Chop Tool Reviews says, the less power it has. We all know that. We all know that. See what anybody's saying. Yeah. But I want to buy the Subaru 40,000. It just needs some cleaning. But yeah, it's pretty strong for. But don't forget who makes this for Lowe's. The same company makes Flex. So you might as well say this is a baby Flex. Can you imagine what they'll have with this when they come out with 21700 tablet cells and much smaller battery? Okay. Now let's do this again. Let's do this again. $340 foot-pounds. Let's see if it'll do this. That's a lot of foot-pounds. Believe me, you need a breaker bar that big. In fact, they make them that are 6 feet long. Then we'll move on to some testing. We'll put it against a different impact wrench. Okay. Let's see if it'll do it. Yep. I have to see how much more further I could go with it before my arms give out. Wow. I'm thinking that's about the limit. And I'm probably going to clamp this down probably, and it's already starting to destroy the nut already. Be interesting to see how much tightening this just did. But when I put the torque wrench on it, we'll see what it says when I start moving it. We were hitting that. I was hitting that for what, 3 seconds? Okay. Time to go about it again. It only says 203. I put it on it. That was it. So that's like 200 pounds of fastening. That's all it did. Okay. Let's do this again. Now, what is that? 393? There's no way it's going to do that. Now I'm going to have to try to hold this down. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to have to. In fact, we might put this against crappy Hercules Gen 2, remember, compact. Okay. Knew it couldn't do that, guys. That's in the realm of flex. So now let me go bust it loose with something else. Yeah, I got lots of birds around here. Okay, let's break it with the Flex FX 1451 mid torque with the 2 amp stack lithium. Nut is getting beat up. Wow, it won't even do it. Okay now. How tight do I got this on there? Like this might be loosening up. We'll see. Wow, it won't even loosen it. Yeah, well, who wants to come by and help me build it? Yeah, that's a lot of money. Car's already good enough, it just needs to be cleaned. This won't even do it. Okay, now we'll move on to something much bigger. Okay. Try the high torque. Even the mid torque couldn't do that. That was way over 400 pounds. So that means that mid torque can't even do that much. When you bring out the big dog, the high torque, that's how you get things done. Okay. We all know the limit on the cobalt now. Whatever that was, it can't do it. Of course, neither can a mid torque. Now that nut is about junk. Wow. So we all know this is a capable little unit. Yeah, it's a blob eye. It's an 05, less than 17,000 original miles. 99% stock. All the fluids were changed 2 years ago. 3 sets of wheels for it. The original set of BBS gold wheels. Original set stored since new. My dad don't like gold wheels, neither do I. I got a different set of 18-inch wheels on it. Special STI stainless or titanium exhaust put on 2 years ago that was Subaru made. You know what this car goes for now? They're no longer making these cars. Nope. When they come out again, it'll sound like a Tesla. So we all know this is capable. Okay. In fact, what we'll do, wow, these really go on there. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the competition. We're going to have it take on No, he didn't care to put it on. He wasn't feeling good. He kept it. The exhaust was sitting in the garage in the box. When I bought the car to the dealer 2 years ago, a guy in there was a Subaru fanatic. He said, wow, an original STI stainless or titanium exhaust. He said, dude, those exhaust systems would cost $2,000 now. My dad paid $1,000 for it back in '6. And by the way, it sounds a hell of a lot nicer than the stock one did. One day when I get a chance and I can get everything out of the way here, I got a load of stuff to move. I'll get the car out of the garage, clean it up, and I'll do a video on it. Okay? When I get a chance, I got to get it out of the garage. You know, it hasn't been out in almost a year. So we're going to put it against the Gen 1 M12, the Cobalt. Because they're both supposed to be awful close. In other words, you know, awful close. I don't think they're going to be. I've already done some testing. Wow. Okay. Since this Cobalt's only $100, we're done with this now. We already know the limit on that. Okay, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Turn around this way. That car ain't that old. It's only 20 years old. It was made, it was manufactured in Japan, July of 2004. So it's technically 20 years old. Family owned. And it was never driven in the wintertime. Okay, I got to figure out what I want to run here. We'll come up with stuff to run in here where you can run 3/8, because this is 3/8 drive, and so is a stubby. This is my first gen stubby I bought 2 years ago. I gotta see what else I want to run too. Yeah, we'll just run the stubby today against the Cobalt. We'll get to the Ryobi compact impact wrench against the Cobalt next time, because I honestly think this will beat it. I mean, we get done here doing this, and if I got enough time, anybody gets bored, we'll see what other compact. Oh yeah, it's a beast. I've had it, but we'll not do that today. I've already tested it against a couple other compacts. Right now we're going to put it against the Milwaukee, and we'll go on another day and against more and more and more until we cover everything. And then I'm going to move on to the new DeWalt hydraulic against all the other impact drivers. Okay. Okay. Let's see what I can run in here. So I got the best package here for the Gen 1, the 5 amp battery. We all know the Gen 2 will smoke the cobalt. That's a no-brainer. Just lining up the fasteners. Probably all the yep, they're all the same. We use the same socket. Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's run the cobalt. Battery's still fully charged. High speed. You can tell we've been getting rain here. It's probably boiling that water. We got rain for 24 hours. Okay. Now, let's run the Milwaukee in high speed too. That ain't gonna cut it, ain't gonna go in fast enough, but let's see. Yeah, forget it. Put it a little bit easier of a one. If I could find one. Forget that one. Let's just put it in. That ain't tight enough. That'll take forever. Let's just put it in this one. That's too easy. For reliability, the Gen 1's more reliable than the Gen 2 for doing long tasks. It doesn't have the power, but it doesn't overheat. Yeah, it would. Okay, let's remove the opposite ones. A little warm she is. Now the cobalt. We all know this, kids. It's not even warm. In fact, the Milwaukee, well, I can't really tell with the Milwaukee. I got the, the boot on it, but battery still fully charged on the M12. Battery still fully charged on the Cobalt. Of course, it's also an 8 amp hour. Okay, now okay, let's see what we do now. Maybe we'll try some bigger legs, but not much bigger. And maybe we'll throw another impact into it. Maybe we will run the Ryobi. Okay. A lot bigger. Okay. Okay, wow, it's starting to get warm now. The socket that is. It's about 50 degrees here in Illinois. The tool's not warming up yet. We're not going to be warm anymore now. Okay. Like I say, that's one thing I like about the Gen 1. It doesn't overheat as easy. Okay. It doesn't want to go any further. Let's see if the Cobalt can put it any further. I doubt it. But at least it didn't die. Well, it put it a little bit further. Now let's try to remove it. I do believe this does have more power than the Gen 1 stubby. It's getting warmed up now. Let's see if I can remove this one. Try to put it in. Try to remove it. Look at that. You know, for the past year, I've been doing a top 10 list of the tools of the year that I'd consider worthy of buying, and this is going to make the list. I usually do my video at the end of December. And this is going to make my list of the top 10 new tools that came out in 24 that I like. And this is going to make it. Of course, the second gen Milwaukee stubby will make it too, but this will definitely make it. This little tool here, like I say, this little tool here, it'll surprise you for how small it is. Don't forget who makes it. The same company makes flex. They just need a tri-light on. Of course, then the price would go up, you know. This is $100. The battery, if you can catch it for 80, charger for probably 20. You could probably get this for 200 bucks. And I consider it better than the Gen 1 stubby. And all they need now is 21700 tablet cells on here instead of this big ape honking battery. Okay, I think we've already proven this now. Let me go get the Ryobi. I'll give it time for it to cool down. I'll put the Milwaukee away. Look what else I brought to the channel. This is a 3-speed Metabo hammer drill made to drill into metal. And remember how to do this. Remove the chuck from it. You can't do that with a DeWalt or a Milwaukee. The only thing you can do it with is a Festool and a fine. That's it. And maybe Bosch. And you know what I got for coming in on this? I got one coming in to be able to run sockets on it to be able to drive legs. You know how much this costs bare tool without a battery? It goes for $330. I got it on sale. No battery. This is German made now. Metabo German's over 100 years old. This will smoke the DeWalt and the Milwaukee going into steel. And you can't do this to the Milwaukee. They would probably charge you $500. Look what else I got. Bosch mid-torque. This is really lightweight. It's not as strong as, not quite as strong as the Milwaukee mid-torque, but it's lightweight. The thing doesn't weigh nothing. And I can put a chip in it and program it. This came out a year ago. You can see the video on Torque Test channel when they tested it. And got a pin to be able to put it through to hold the socket on. I'll be testing this in the future too, and it's really lightweight. And they're supposed to come out with tablet cells for these, I heard, over the winter. Okay. Okay, now I gotta find a socket. Because we all know the Ryobi Compact is 1/2-inch drive with the new Edge battery. Okay. Let's start with the little ones. Yeah. I was up half the night watching it, making sure that nobody was, the vote didn't change at 6 in the morning. Now we got to fix our country. It's going to take 4 years to fix it. So like I say, this is the rigid. This is the Ryobi PSB IW25 compact with the new Edge battery. Let's run it for a few minutes before we get back to the cobalt. We all know this has got more power, but I have overheated this. I've done it twice. It goes into safe mode, but it takes a whole lot of heating up to shut it down before that Gen 2 stubby shuts down. That ain't going in. Wow, starting to conk out. See if the cobalt will put it in any further. I doubt it. Wow, it's actually putting it in further. Nah, that's got to be. There's no way this has more power than the Ryobi, but who knows? I know the Ryobi beats the rigid compact, actually a subcompact. Yeah, this has 2,800 RPMs, and it has 3,800 impacts. Let's read what this has. We get the box. Okay. Okay, RPMs, 2,500. What did I say this has? 2,800. It has more. Okay. IPMs, 3,400. IPMs, 3,800. Huh? Okay. I'm not even warmed up yet. Let's remove one. The Edge battery only lost one cell. And we all know this battery is far superior to that 8 amp Cobalt. This has got tablet cell technology in it. Even though it's only half as big, but this battery competes with its bigger brother, the 8 amp. Okay, let's run some big ones. That's as far as it wants to go. And it's warming up too. Let me get the temperature. Getting pretty warm. The socket, way warm. The motor, not all that warm. Now let's see if we can put it in any further with the Cobalt. I doubt it. Nope, let's see if we can remove it. Let's see if the Ryobi can remove it. Nope, it ain't coming. It'll stay in. Let's try another big one. Put it right here. Wow, that's as far as it's willing to go. And it finally dropped the cell. Well, yeah, but the difference is this might be a bigger battery. It might be 21,700 cells, but these are tablets. Gives the battery way more power. I'll put a tabless battery, 4 amps, against any 8 amp battery that is even 21,700 cells that's not tabless. Heck, I'll put a 4 amp tablet cell battery against some pouch cell batteries. Now, this is warm. We all know that's way warmer. We all know that's way warmer. See how much it is. 126, the socket. The motor. Okay. Now, let me try to remove this. Let's try it on the Ryobi. Now, down 2 cells, but not much power this has. This battery's got tablet cell technology in it. Yeah, it lost power. All you need is 2 batteries to keep up at an 8 amp hour. And by the way, you know how much that DeWalt, well, let's just take case in point how much the Milwaukee battery costs. The 8 amp hour is $200. This is only $130. Milwaukee is coming out with smaller batteries with tablet cells. Okay, let's finish up this test, breaking in that, Bosch. One nice thing about the Bosch I noticed, it's got this light here. It tells you how the unit's doing. I guess when it gets red, the unit's going to overheat. Okay, this socket is very hot. Okay, let's try to remove it with this. Wow. Wow. Not many guys have these on their channels. Bosch, German. But I think they're not made in Germany. I think they make them somewhere else now. But they are designed in Mount Prospect, Illinois, which is 60 miles away from me. Hasn't quite warmed up yet, even though the socket's warm. Let's see what the battery's at. Battery dropped to 1 cell. And this is 21 700 cells, 4 amp hour, but it's not tabless. Like I say, it's not tabless. But they are coming out with a tablet cell. It's supposed to be coming out, I heard, over the winter. I even have an 8 amp hour I bought too. Okay. Let's install a few of these. Let's work on some big ones. That's a hot big one. I'll pass. This ain't a bad unit. It is very lightweight compared to the Milwaukee. Torque Test channel tested it. They said it's got a lighter hammers in it. And it is very light with this 4 amp hour battery. It don't weigh nothing. And still only has 1 cell that dropped. Now let's remove it. Wow. Try a smaller one. Not a bad unit. Starting to warm up. But for a mid-torque, it's pretty small and light. Let's remove it. Now let's check the temperature on it. The socket we're not going to go near. We know that's going to be 150 degrees. The socket. The unit, the motor. It's a nice unit and it's lightweight. I'm starting to get more into Bosch tools now because I've never owned them before. And like I say, I have their new, the brand new model 1950 inch-pound impact driver coming in by December. And that's going to be half the size of this. So, and I love the control pad on here, you know. And I can put the chip in here, like I say. Okay, let's see what this thing does. Let's go mode A. Let's see what mode A does. See? It quit as soon as it got. I understand that's for just tightening. Now let's see about removing. See? It quit. Now let's get it into mode B. It does the same thing. Now let's get it out of mode. Okay, let's install this. Okay, now let's see what mode I can put it in so it quits and doesn't fly off. A or B? Let's go with B. Oh, nope. Let's go with A. Oh, it does the same thing. This is for basically working on bolts that aren't that long. Let's shut her down. And like I say, when this light starts to turn red, you're overheating your unit. Right now, it's still green. We're not overheating it yet. Let's remove it. I got to take this to Lowe's and go get the chip for it. Like I say, I got to go to Lowe's and get the chip for it. It's only 20 bucks, and I could program this unit. That socket is really hot. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't have a ring light on it, but that's no big deal. And the 8 amp hour battery, but like I say, they're coming out with a tablet cell batteries. It's going to be in 4 hour, 8 amp hour, and 12 amp hour. Trying to compete with Milwaukee, of course. But a 4 amp hour Milwaukee doesn't have. I'll probably get the 4 amp hour tablet cell one when it comes out. So this is nice. I'll be putting this against my other mid torques in the future. So in the meantime, we all know that this is a little bit stronger than the Cobalt because of the tablet cell battery. Now it came back now. Look at that. Came back. But we all know this only lost 1 cell, and this is the battery they recommend for it. When they come out with tablet cell technology, the Cobalt, but this is going to make my list at the end of the year. Usually around Christmas, I'll come out with a video. I might do a live, and I'll do a regular for the top 10 tools of the year, and this will be somewhere in the top 10. So I'll be going live again. Let's see, tomorrow's Thursday. I'll probably go live probably on Friday. So Like I say, I'm impressed with this little impact compact. I call it a subcompact. I mean, look, compared to a mid-torque, look how much smaller it is. It's not as strong. And of course, compared to the Ryobi, look how much smaller it is. It's way smaller. Way smaller. And it's about the same price, $100, $100. But this doesn't have tabless technology. Not yet. I'm sure it will. But this does. And that's why I came back. Only dropped one cell. But I've literally put this into heat protective mode. I beat this up so hard one time, it literally shut off for 5 minutes. Very few guys are willing to take their impact wrenches into that mode. And I've spit grease out of this. And this one hasn't started spitting grease yet. Maybe just a little. So I recommend this. Like I say, this will make my top 10 list at the end of the year. I'll probably do a live on that and a regular. And we all know the Edge battery is going to make my top 10 list too. So, okay guys, I'll be back online probably, like I say, probably Friday night. And I'm going to run more tests. Then we'll probably go right to the hydraulic DeWalt against the other impact drivers. I want to set up a test, or we might do that separately. I want to set up a test where I'm going to run each impact driver against the DeWalt all on speed 1 with different size fasteners, you know, all on speed 1 against the speed 1 on the DeWalt hydraulic and see what one does a better job. And then speed 2, and then of course speed 3 on the other ones, and then the DeWalt only has 2 speeds. And run different size fasteners from like 2-inch all the way to 6, but not really thick, you know. That's just to see, because I know other guys are going to try the same test, but I'm going to do the same thing. And I'll do it live. Okay, guys. Yep, God bless America is right. We needed this. Okay, I'll be back online Friday night. Eric the Bearded Tool Guy signing off.